ended up in tech, and I didn't love it. I think for me, it was a little bit limiting, like creatively. It was hard to turn down those jobs because they were abundant and they were very secure. They paid well. I wanted to create and put out there into the world, but I was very afraid to like leave my job and like pursue something that was completely unknown with regards to like how that was gonna impact my financial situation, and if I started my own business, was anyone even going to buy the work that I did? It was a lot of unknown factors that were very scary to kind of make the jump and pull the trigger and do it. I spent all of my free time working on graphic design stuff. It was right around the time that all our friends were getting married. I'll work on people's wedding invitations. It was giving me my creative outlet during a time in which I was not feeling fulfilled in that part of my life.
Hi, my name is Reynalina, and I am the host of the Space with Rain podcast. Today you'll listen to Katrina Mendoza, and she's the founder of GoodScan. She and I were neighbors in Williamsburg, New York, and this is the longest episode I have released and I'm leaving it raw because we talk a lot about friendship, we talk a lot about business, the struggles of starting a business, but also changing countries, changing lifestyles, and how we have evolved through that and how we have changed, but also how friendship, regardless of living in different countries, or she's now in the West Coast, I'm in the East Coast, and it's still strong and it's still there because in our center we're still, ourselves, and we show up as ourselves even if we change and evolve. And sometimes, yes, maybe it's not the same, but we do talk a lot about like those times and how we miss it and how sometimes we wish we were back there. But here we are. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you for tuning in. Hola, Katrina. ¿Cómo estás?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good that I'm seeing you. I haven't seen you in so long.
I know. I guess the last time we talked, I think it was just a phone call. There was no video, so maybe I was driving. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you were driving.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was a good conversation. We were talking about podcasting, actually. You remember?
Here we are.
Here we are. Wow.
Your podcast, which is awesome. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for motivating me in that call and being there for me.
Yay!
I appreciate you. So, Katrina, who are you? What are you? Where are you?
Okay, let's see. I'm Katrina Mendoza. I'm currently located in the Bay Area and have been for, man, I guess it's been almost 4 years now. 3 to 4 years. I would call myself a graphic designer. I own my own company slash am self-employed. It's kind of how I describe it. It's called Goods Gang, and I make mostly stationery and other printed goods for events such as weddings and big parties like that. And then my brand also makes ready-made products like greeting cards and stationery and cute little things like that. So that's what I do.
Great. I like how you use cute little things.
Yeah, they're pretty cute little things.
Cute. Very cute. Just like you. I remember we met in Williamsburg. We used to be neighbors. And, the first time I heard your name, I thought you were Latina.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited that I would have a Latina neighbor. But the thing is, it was even better because then I got to learn about a whole new culture, amazing food, you're an amazing cook. Thank you for feeding me for so many years and taking me to amazing restaurants as well.
I mean, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
Neighbors in Williamsburg. It was awesome.
And we used to go work in our laptops and in different coffee shops, different places. So, yeah, you're right. And then your stationaries were in a few small shops around Williamsburg. Yeah, how was that experience?
It was kind of surreal just because, we lived in such a cool place and so many little shops in that community, and It felt very weird and dreamlike to be like, they're selling this thing I made. This is awesome. This feels great. It's like a weird dream realized that, was actually happening. So that was that was great.
Yeah, it was cool to go inside the shop and see your work.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I also got to see behind the scenes, and you are very organized. I've been trying to catch up to you for many years. I'm like, this is what Katrina would do. This is how she would organize her folders.
I mean, it's nice to be organized. At the risk of not sounding too self-deprecating, I'm like maybe a little too crazy about it, but it keeps me sane, I think. So, I kind of have to. No one needs to take it as far as I do. I just actually I could probably stand to chill out on it a little bit, to be honest.
I think it's fine. I don't have the level you do, but it has helped me streamline my processes. And so I spend less time doing or finding documents. It's more organized. And every time I just open a new folder, I just copy from the previous, and then it's way more organized. And when I stop doing it, then it's a mess. Like I don't remember. I don't remember where I put this, where is that, and then it's so frustrating. How did you start that? Like what inspired you, the organization?
It was a big mix of stuff. So before I made Goods Gang for myself and started that business, I worked for corporations and like other marketing agencies. I graduated from college from University of Washington with a graphic design degree, and it that was way back in like the early 2000s, 2005. When did I graduate college?
No idea. It
I
doesn't
can't remember.
matter. At this point, it doesn't matter.
It's been long enough, it doesn't matter. But anyways, it was around the time that tech started booming and graphic design jobs weren't exactly like they were few and far between in Seattle. And so a lot of people who went to my design school were starting jobs in the tech industry. And so that's kind of where I started. Like I said, I worked for corporations and smaller firms as well. And I went into it reluctantly because I wanted to work at like a graphic design firm. That was kind of the whole point of going to graphic design school. I wanted to work on like branding projects for cool companies and whatnot. Wasn't in the cards. That's fine. Ended up in tech and I didn't love it. I think for me, it was a little bit limiting, like creatively. I kind of like struggled for the first 3 years of my career because it was hard to turn down those jobs because they were abundant and they were very secure, they paid well, and those are not small things in considering a career choice. I'm very blessed to have entered the field, and it was a great learning experience, but I worked in tech for maybe like 8 to 10 years. And the thing, I always wanted to get back to like true graphic design and, have a little more flexibility with what I wanted to create and put out there into the world. But I was very afraid to like leave my job. It felt kind of like ungrateful to let go of such good opportunities and like pursue something that was completely unknown with regards to like how that was gonna impact my financial situation, and was anyone even, if I started my own business, was anyone even going to buy the work that I did? Like it was a lot of unknown factors that were, very scary to kind of make the jump and pull the trigger and do it. So, like everyone, I did a little side hustling. Like, I just kept my regular day job and I spent all of my free time working on graphic design stuff. It kind of fed itself. It was right around the time that all our friends were getting married. So, all I did was like, well, I'll work on people's wedding invitations. That sounds like something I could do. And it was always for friends. So, it was like, it was giving me my creative outlet during a time in which I was not feeling fulfilled in that part of my life. So I gained a lot of experience with that. And then so I did both, my day job and then my side hustle for, I want to say like 3 to 5 years maybe. Then Sean is my husband. Sean and I got married. We were like, what do we do now? We weren't ready to have kids yet. So we're like, let's move to New York. Somebody kind of dropped the idea into our lap one day, and then we were like, that actually sounds pretty cool. Let's do that. So we did. Sean, we both like just put in requests at our jobs to see, like, hey, would it be okay if we moved to New York? Uh, Happy to do work remote or put us on a different team that's located there. And so Sean got put on a different team in New York. He was working for Google at the time. And then I was working for Microsoft at the time. And they said, you can just work remotely. And we were like, great, this worked out.
Amazing.
So the reason why I bring up New York is because it was when we moved to New York and I was suddenly surrounded by a community that was like extremely diverse. Like there were people in New York living out and pursuing all kinds of dreams. Coming from Seattle, and at least in our friend and professional group, everyone worked in tech. It was like I didn't know anyone else really who worked in another industry. Suddenly we were in a new city meeting new people who worked in all kinds of different places, and I just something about that made me feel comfortable and ready enough to like leave my full-time job. And Sean was, we had saved a lot of money. We were in a good place financially, and Sean and I discussed it over like many, many months because, obviously it was going to be a huge pay cut if I just quit my corporate job
I'm moving to New York.
and moving to New York. And just, I mean, I was having the time of my life there, like eating out, hanging out with you, this restaurant and that restaurant and this, like we had some finances to consider when we were there, but after we talked about it at length, we kind of decided, okay, this is the time in our life for you to go for it. So sat down, made a business plan, talked it over with him, and came up with this business, Goods Gang, to make wedding stationery for clients and maybe a little ready-made stationery on the side. But the main focus was for weddings and events. And so that's that's how it started. Did I even
Which
answer the question? What was the question?
I don't even know at this point. It's like perfect. Everything you said. I think sometimes it's scary. It is scary. Even today, I'm guessing you have moments as a business owner.
Yeah, I think like, I don't know, almost all things in life, not just business, not just mental health, not just moving, having kids, like any milestone you're taking is kind of like, I don't know what this is going to be about. So like you hesitate because you're scared. Yeah.
I mean, the unknown, not knowing what's going to happen. The thing is, it will happen anyways. But also, you've been doing this for many, many years now.
Hmm. Yes, I officially started it in 2017. So it's been, I'm not good at
7 years.
years. Math's coming in to haunt me again. I don't know. I'm a creative for a reason. But yeah, 7 or 8 years now. Yeah.
Cool. And how do you keep yourself motivated? Like, seriously. Yeah.
It's difficult. For me personally, I think the main motivating factor is you don't get a steady paycheck. You don't make money unless you're working. And if there's not enough work coming in, then I need to be doing something different. If there's other areas I'm trying to pursue within this whole Goods Gang brand, then I need to do that on my own. Like I can't, no one's going to do that for me except me. So, and I think also like once you do something for a while, like the last thing you want to happen is it to feel stale, you know, because you put so much of your blood, sweat, and tears into it. And like, you don't want to feel ever bored with it. Like, it wasn't easy to make the decision to jump into it full time. So I kind of get motivated by thinking of other like adjacent projects or at least semi related things. So, for example, I make a lot of wedding stationery. That's like the bread and butter. The reason why I even came up with also doing like ready-made goods, like greeting cards and such, was because I wanted to take advantage of kind of all the leftover material that I had from my wedding projects. And so decided to make some greeting cards and I'd write and design them myself. And that kind of sprung from wanting to just be a little more efficient with the materials that I was using. Um, there's also like, there's a bunch of wedding blogs, and the way to get your name out there a little more is to like, get into those blogs, get in front of more eyes, get more people seeing your brand. And so I'll usually have a collab or photo shoot that I'm working on at any given point with a group of other creatives, usually in the wedding industry, to try and like create something really beautiful and interesting so that, people can feel inspired by the work. So that's like another thing. I recently wanted to push harder on the ready-made goods, get more wholesale accounts, get into more boutique shops. And so I've been designing and creating a lot more inventory, reaching out to more shops to see who may be interested for wholesale, do participating in local fairs, and doing little pop-ups, selling those goods. So yeah, there's just always, I don't know, when you own your own business and you're the only one doing everything, there's just always something to do, I think.
Always.
Yeah, the list is never ending. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you are motivating me a lot. And the thing is, like, when you put your mind into something, like you specifically, you always accomplish it. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it only looks that way.
I mean, just the things you just mentioned, like, you know.
Well, I only mentioned the ones that worked. Yeah.
Welcome to the life of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not so simple. Like I am working on new products and I'm having to invest a lot in time and finances and I'm not sure of the outcome yet. Like I'm definitely busy working on those things and I'm making money at those fairs and I am getting some wholesale accounts, but I think only time will tell if like in the long run it's making a big impact. But at this point, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to.
Yeah.
And you're also a mom.
I am a mommy, a mama. Yes, I have one daughter. Her name is Ray, and you've met her, Rainey. You met her when she was just a little nugget from the hospital.
When you guys are moving, I remember just like holding her and oh, she's so beautiful.
God, that day we left was so vivid. It like I was so sad to leave, but life moves on, even if you're not ready. But yeah, I have one daughter, Ray. She's 4. She was born in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. So that was super fun to navigate as a first time mom. But she's great. She's in preschool. She's a spitfire. She's very smart. She's her own person. I can't get her to do anything. She she decides. But she's a really good girl and she's so sweet sometimes and you know, we have a good time together, the 3 of us.
I it's no surprise that she makes her own decisions. because her mama is that way. I mean, I think both of you are very independent and, live a certain way. And I'm guessing you don't baby her a lot. You kind of allow her to express herself.
Yeah, and I mean, stepping away from who I am and who Shauna are naturally, I think most people can say it's good to let your kid figure out their own shit and, like, is cursing allowed? Figure out their own stuff and kind of not baby them. Sean and I, we're not babied. We, I think, are tough love people, so it is coming very naturally to just
Yeah.
not baby her. And I think, yeah, it's making her independent, which is great. So, well, I mean, it's great in the long run, I think. I think on the daily, it's a bit of a struggle, but she's Rainy. She'll be like, I've somehow, like, you know how I am with stuff and like
Mhm.
things being like lined up and
Mhm.
organized and whatever. I
Mhm.
have never ever made her organize or anything. I tell her to clean up her toys and like to clean up after herself, but other than that, I don't feel like I've never pushed an agenda on that because I don't want her to be as neurotic about it as I am, but she already is. Like, I don't even know. She must be just observing all of it from me.
Yeah.
She'll like cry if I put her hairbrush in like a spot that's like 5 inches in a different spot. Yeah.
I think it's something about design. There's these I remember seeing this clip or video. I need to find it where like my parents are architects. So everything in their life was like different. They didn't have a normal Christmas or it always had to be inventive and weird compared to everyone else. And I think it's maybe not all architects or designers, but like I think there's a part of us that needs this organization to be creative, to have room to be creative.
Yes, like I would agree for me. I feel like I can't really like if there's like a big creative task coming up and I need like a lot of space and like headspace to figure it out or get it out, you know? I like there can't be dishes in the sink, there can't be crap over here, like all the house has to be all like put together. The desk, I can't have crap all over my desk because then I'll just focus on all that stuff and there's no way I'm going to get it done.
You're going to be distracted because even if we think we're not being distracted, our eyes are moving and seeing all the time. It's absorbing all the information constantly, constantly, constantly. And so then we become in survival mode without realizing it. Or we ignore it completely,
Yeah.
completely, but it is affecting us.
I wish I could do that more, actually. I like that would be the flip side of being hyper organized is like you're not very good at just ignoring.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes you just need to, like, there's not always time to clean your whole office before you need to do the thing you have to do.
exactly. But what I realized, at least when I visit your home, is like it's easier to clean. It's
Yeah,
easier to clean, faster, and then everything has its place. So there's not a lot to clean at the end of the day because it's constantly
already.
it's not really clean, it's more like the organization,
It's
right? It's
quick.
organized. So then cleaning is like just sweeping and
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah, I just don't do well with I'm very forgetful, which I think is one of the reasons why I just became hyper organized because it was obvious from a very young age for me like if I stay organized then I don't actually have to remember stuff. Like with like Google Calendar events even like if I put it in there then I don't have to remember because there's no way I'm going to. Or like if I lose something it's because I put it down where I don't normally put it and then I have no idea where it is and then it's gone forever. Yeah,
Forever.
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 until I stumble upon it somewhere and I'm like, there it is.
I get frustrated when I can't find something. I like freak out and then I have to calm myself. I have
Yeah,
to pause and calm myself and I'm like, I know it will show up. And
yeah,
if not, well,
yeah,
let that process.
yeah. Sean is not as crazy as I am, but then we share things. So then I'm like, where's the flashlight? I bought two flash. He doesn't know where he put. I don't know where they are because we walk the dog with the flashlights at night, and then like they've been misplaced. Sean thinks he's been putting them in his pocket at the dog park and then running around, and then they like fall out in the dark. And I'm like, cool. I guess
Can you find like a clip then?
what?
A clip or something to add it to the leash?
A built-in clip.
Okay.
I'm not sure why he's not running around with the flashlight on. He's just running around in the dark. It's not on. He puts it in his. I don't even know. I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is Sean, so it's kind of hard to figure it out. I think we would, even if you go with him, I don't think you can.
No,
No. Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I've gotten better at letting go of that stuff. If it was just like me, I'd be very upset with myself if I kept losing the flashlight. But now I just go on Amazon and buy a new one.
Sean proof. You have to find a Sean proof one.
It would have to be like attached to his body.
Well, how about the lights that are in the forehead?
I mean, the problem, well, I
Or
guess
the,
the problem is when he's using it. The other problem is where he puts it down when he gets home. That's the other problem.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
other problem is the little girl also moves stuff around, so I'm like, did she take it maybe? Yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know.
At least it's just a flashlight, maybe.
No, well, there's other stuff, but it's fine.
Okay.
I have learned to, or have to learn to just let more things
Let
go.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have seasons of clutter, I realize, and like right now I have clutter. I did the laundry and I didn't fold it. And so it's in the bed and I haven't folded. And I've been thinking about this, like, why are there days where I just fold everything, put it where it is, and then why there are days that I just leave it on the bed?
Because you're a interesting, nuanced human with different feelings every day and every moment. That's why.
True, but it does affect me. It's like, okay, I'll do it later. Okay, I'll do it later. But I have realized at the same time that I know that before my period, so luteal phase, I know I get organized. Like I need everything clean, I need everything organized. And then I've read many books that say, okay, then when your period comes, you're relaxed.
It's like a really productive PMS.
Yep,
I'm
very
really
productive.
tired and hungry.
You're tired and hungry. I just want to clean and organize. But then the thing is that then, after Lucio, after I'm just like, go, go, go. I don't want to stop
Yeah,
and, and organize.
yeah.
So
Maybe you're like prepping for high, like you're prepping for
hibernation.
feel. Yeah, when you're like on your period and you feel really crappy, and you're like, well, at least I've
Yes.
already prepped for it or whatever.
And I feel like, you know, I did all the chores I needed to do, everything for my calendar, everything for my to do list. Check, 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 check. Now I can do nothing.
That's that's the feeling I aspire to like every day.
It
I'm like, I want to check it all off and then be done. That's the best feeling.
is. Are
Yeah.
you still using the app things? Can you show me? Can you show me?
Oh, now I do this thing where I like to. Oh, I hope there's nothing embarrassing, but I like to group them by emoji.
Ooh. I need to reorganize it because I lost my. So when I got my new phone, I lost all the data from my previous things, and I had so much information in there.
It didn't. You should just be able to download the app and then.
Didn't happen. I don't know what happened, Katrina, I don't know, everything wiped out after I last month organizing.
Oh my God, that would kill
I
me.
know. I know. I know. So do backups or something. Or maybe I can still get it, but I tried and it's just empty. So I never tried it again.
Yeah, and by now you already refixed it probably, or at least are using
Yeah,
it. So,
I am. Yeah. But I feel frustrated because I remember you showing me. So a lot of the things I organized it because you were next to me in one of our work
our work,
sessions.
our work chit chat eating session.
Yes.
Told you, the good old days.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh my
No
gosh.
one will do that with me here. I'll like ask them like, "Oh, you work from home? Do you want to like work at a cafe?" And they're like, "Yeah, maybe."
Oh my god. I'll be like
Hey,
me.
when? When can we go? I don't know. Like, oh, I'll go by myself.
Last year I tried and went to I did a month of going to the places we used to go to.
Did you burst into tears when you walked in? Because I was.
No, it felt like I didn't belong. Like it was like a different time, a different era. Like things change. Things change.
What's that one place where we ate the salmon bowls all the?
Oh my god. It's not there, but they still have sauce.
We only went there once though, right? To sauce.
Yeah. It's like the wine bar.
The pizza too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
went there once
And
with
I
Gwen.
think they opened a new one in Manhattan.
Another sauce.
Because I passed through it yesterday, actually, walking in the street. But I found new coffee shops that I think you would like,
Yeah,
but they're in Soho. No, they are in West Village. Many good ones that I think you would like. So we
I'm
need
sure
to set up a date.
I want to go back there all the time. You know that.
Yeah, I think maybe we can do like a video chat sessions. Like, what are you working on? And then just like recreate a salmon bowl, you
Oh,
in
you
the Bay Area.
can't recreate those
I
times.
know. I know. But I try all
Mm,
the time. I try to recreate that exact bowl. It's not
yeah,
the same, but yeah.
I like forgot what was in it. All I remember was their salmon,
Rice, sushi
rice,
rice. It had,
something green. There's like a lot of green sauce or something.
yes. And it had, oh my God, I have it written somewhere because I remember finding the menu
Oh,
and yeah,
and
I
just
did that.
you probably list out all the ingredients and then you just
Yeah. I know it had goat cheese, I think.
did it.
Yeah. Yeah. It had many things. That was like the best bowl.
I loved I loved when we would I can't remember the name of that place.
So I still have it in Google Maps. I haven't been around there, but many people, I forgot, but many people that we met in the cafe, I've
Mhm.
seen them around.
We met people there?
We met people. We just said hi, it's like those things that happen, but I still see them.
Oh,
And yeah. And the owner of that place, I've seen him around as well in Sauce but I haven't been back to Sauce. I just seen like walking around or yeah.
I miss that place.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
because I can't even remember. I know we went to. Oh, do you still go to Mecklenburg?
So I've been there like maybe once or twice, but seriously, Katrina, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same.
Oh, I
Doesn't feel
remember.
at least not for me. At least not for me.
I mean, I get it. Remember we did like a trivia night there?
I probably didn't answer not even one question because my brain shuts
None of us knew any of the questions.
easy.
That was
Yeah.
like the best. So we'd be like, "What are you doing for dinner? Should we just go get something at Mecklenburg?" Okay. And then we get there, we're like, "Oh, it's trivia night. Should we stay?" Like, okay. And then it was so fun. And I don't do
Um,
anything like that anymore.
no. I don't know what it is. I think there's something that happened after COVID. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, also depends where you live. Like, I don't live in a walkable area anymore. It's like if you're gonna go out, you have to like get the car, drive, park. There's also the complication of the child. Do I do I
Yeah.
need a sitter? Does she come? Is it a bar? Is she allowed to be there? Yeah, all that
Yeah,
kind
there's a lot.
of stuff.
There's a lot. Yeah. I mean, there's still hope to go back to that lifestyle and live in a neighborhood that has similar amenities that feel more like the us of the moment.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible, but I think we struck gold when we just happened to live next door. Like, I don't know if that will happen for us again in another life, in this life. You know what I mean? Like, that was
Yeah.
really rare. I don't know anyone else who hung out with
I
their
think,
neighbors all the time in New York City, and we were like, we were living friends. We were living that TV show. We were literally next door neighbor.
yeah. But what I will say, there's a friend of mine. She's a pilot, so I never get to see her. I think you met her. Yeah, you met a lot of my friends. And there's years that go by and I don't see her because she's living somewhere else. Like she's lived so many places that I don't even know the name. And just because of the nature of her job, right? And even she's basically flying all the time. And when she's not, she's sleeping.
Yeah.
So I get to see her very like every certain year. And the thing is, one thing she says is like, we're gonna retire and I'm gonna travel the world with you. Not as a pilot, but like just to leisure and have fun. And that actually, I sometimes think about that comment. She said it differently, but I'm like, wow, I don't know, that's like something to look forward to. Not working, maybe retired and still active and just like hanging out. I
Yeah,
think we can do that.
I think we can. It's just be nice to pepper that in to present day a little more somehow, but I don't know. I think it's so hard when the friends you make, like everyone just moves a lot this day and age, you know? You're like just physically separated from a lot of people. It's not like before where people like, are born and grow up in one town.
Then also that's the exciting thing about it because now if I go to the Bay Area, you're going to be there and I'm going to see you. You know what I mean? I just haven't been in that part of the world yet, but I think it just grows and it expands. But one thing, I always have to find a coffee shop anywhere I go and I have to test it. So I go to many and I'm like, nah, until I find the one or two, right? In that area. Yeah. And then I just go to that one all the time.
What are your checklists for a good coffee shop?
Oh,
What's your number? There's one thing. I wonder if we have the same one thing.
oh my God, Katrina, no, don't do that to me. I am going to fail. I'm going to fail.
I'd be curious if the what there's. I mean, I have a many, but there's
Yeah.
one thing that really
Okay. So
well,
I'm
like
going
negotiable
to,
depending
okay.
on how long I'm gonna be there. If that's
Okay. It doesn't help, but I'm just going to answer the question. Okay. And then you say yes or no. Okay. So I have first, it has to feel cozy.
okay,
Like
yeah,
like not very white and it has to have some wood. It has to feel kind of homey. Kind of homey. The smell of the coffee. Because I don't drink coffee, but I love the smell.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay,
It has to have at least good like pastries
yeah,
or food,
okay,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. And usually like local, like kind of,
yeah.
fresh.
This list is so rainy. Like this is so you. You're gonna laugh at my list.
And then the people that go there have to have a certain kind of like yeah, like a little vibe, like a something, yeah. I don't know. I can't describe what the vibe is, but you can tell the people that work there as well. If they're miserable, you're going to be miserable. But
Yeah,
if but they're happy or cool or content, even if they're not friendly, but you can tell they're content in their own way, then and that's it. And I go often. They kind of know me, you know. I always do the same thing for chai latte, or now I'm starting the matcha trend.
Matcha. It gives you like a little caffeine hit without the jittery. I'm very sensitive to caffeine, so like any good coffee shop coffee is just going to murder me. So I always get matcha.
And look, sometimes I have to go to a different little town. Like if my town doesn't have a good coffee shop, I'm gonna go to the next one. And I'm gonna go to the next one. And I'm gonna go even if I drive 30 minutes or have to take the train for 30 minutes, I do it. I sacrifice it. It has to be right.
So like see, we're like diverging in life now. Let me tell you what happens with me. Well, first of all, I want
Okay.
to tell you my list because
Please.
your list is so rainy. Miss Freebird feelings and like ambiance. And here's mine.
Okay.
My number one was there better be a power outlet everywhere. And there better be a bathroom that isn't disgusting. And I feel like there was another pretty like utilitarian one. Also, like, I mean, the food, like, bonus if the vibe is cool and like homey and cozy. And definitely there better be food. But like, yeah, the power outlet and the bathroom thing, because some don't have power
Yeah.
outlets. Because I think they're trying to deter you from staying there for more
Yeah.
than average full charge of a laptop.
Yeah.
Is what? An hour, maybe two?
Yeah, exactly. So then this is how Rainey's brains work. If it hits all the criteria and there's no outlet or no accessible outlet, but maybe there's one in the whole cup, I'm like, well, I only have 2 hours to work.
See, I like that. Like, that's the way it should be. Because
That's
also,
it.
the other thing is where I live now, there's the, it's slim pickings. Like, okay, so do you know where I go now all the time?
No,
The
no.
library.
Okay, okay. That's better than Starbucks. I'm sorry. Oops. Sorry, Starbucks.
I did,
But
there wasn't a what's another one? It's not Starbucks, but it's
Joe?
Tully's? No, not Tully's. I caved and went to a Starbucks-esque one right here because I didn't have options. And
Yeah, that's
it
like,
was not cozy. It wasn't, it wasn't that vibe. And I just did what I usually go to a coffee shop or the library if there's one thing that I've been dreading doing, but I really have to do. And then I go to a coffee shop or the library and I say, this is the only thing I'm allowed to do here until it's done. And then I do it. And then that was like a Starbucks. And then I left and I was like, that sucked. But at least the thing's done that I didn't want to do.
yeah. I don't know what it is. I've tried it. Sometimes I'm like, I give in as well and go to Starbucks, but I always end up not liking the drink.
Hmm.
It's too much or too sugary or too blah blah blah. And I love sugar, but it just doesn't have the like flavor. Like it's missing something. And okay, the truth is also like I'm remembering this coffee shop that I went to, and they have pistachio milk. And of course, I'm gonna go to that coffee shop for that
What?
pistachio milk.
A mug
Pistachio milk.
shaped like a mustache. Oh, pistachio milk.
Pistachio milk.
I don't think I've ever had. Is it green?
It's kind of green, yeah. It's very it's light green, very light, like minty. But yeah, the Starbucks, but library. So I found this library
Yeah.
in New York. So it's in Greenwich, and it used to be. It wasn't a church. It was something else. But it's very high ceilings, curved. And I forgot the name, but I go there. I've been there once, and I love it. So the library isn't a no. I enjoy some libraries.
You know what I like about the library is I can like leave my laptop there and go to the bathroom. No one will take it.
Why won't they take it though?
I think it's the area that I go to with the library I go
Yeah.
to. Like it's a
Yeah.
very like good neighborhood, safe. And the library's like really clean and big, and there's no like hooligans there like camping out. It's a very safe library, so I always just kind of like I feel like I can, because you don't always have someone to go with, and then
Yeah.
it's annoying to like pack up your stuff to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, so that is true. Mm. It's called Jefferson Market Library. It's so nice. Yeah, Google it. It has like
Yeah.
church like windows, high ceilings, and then they also have a basement with vaulted ceilings, brick. It's very nice. So I
Huh.
went there once, but I didn't use their bathroom, so I don't know if their bathroom is. I went to the other coffee shop that I'm going to now and just ate there. So, but it was nice, and the people seem good as well.
I've never been here, but I would walk around here all.
Yeah, probably walked around it a bunch of times, and it has a very nice garden next to it too. So it's surrounded by trees. I mean, it's just check,
You
check, check.
know
It
what?
adds what?
Actually,
You've been there?
I told you my memory's garbage. I might have been there.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I can't quite remember. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
That library is much more interesting looking than the library I go to.
yeah, but the library is not unless it smells stuffy. I'm okay with libraries as long as it doesn't smell stuffy.
Stinky, like
Like old,
books.
very, very old.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't have movement. Like there has to be some type of movement. You know, it's crazy because I see my brother and my brother can work in his office all day. And I can do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I need some type of stimulation.
Mm.
That's why I like coffee shops.
I loved being in coffee shops. I mean, I would go every day except for that
Yeah,
too
it's
much
different.
crap here in this office that I need. And then also there's maybe I should try to look harder again, but
Yeah,
none to
try
go
it.
to.
Try it.
They're not hitting the checklist of stuff.
Okay, but you only have two. I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah, okay. I said those were the essentials, but I guess to make it worth going often, I need all the
Yeah.
stuff you talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you need it. I know you. I've been with you. Like, you wouldn't just be satisfied with an outlet and a good bathroom.
There just has to be a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I agree with you. If it's nasty, I wouldn't want to go either.
Well,
Yeah.
just sometimes they didn't. I remember in New York, it was kind of hard to find. Sometimes you'd find a
Yeah.
coffee shop, but there's like no bathroom, which was
Yeah.
it's crazy in hindsight, but I think
Yeah.
that happened a lot. Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
I go to one that doesn't have bathroom, so. But I only stay there for 2 hours because it's like, again, you can't really. So I go and then just sometimes I'll just take a book with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I become more efficient when I have like these little rules, like I can only work for 2 hours, then, yeah.
Those little rules that you make for yourself, that's like, I don't know, I think that's just how I get stuff done. I like heard once that like, I was listening to this podcast. I don't remember which one it was, but they were like, well, like, how important is like self control, like, and like discipline, self discipline? And it's like, what was that? So, anyway, the podcast is saying
No idea.
like, how do some people have such good self control and self discipline? And then they were like, well, it's not actually that they're more disciplined and have better self control. It's like people who seemingly are good at that is they just have a lot of little systems in place to keep themselves like more accountable. And those systems are like basically little rules that you make for yourself to in like life and like in your productivity. So when
Hmm.
you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to this coffee shop, but I can only stay for 2 hours. Then you're like, well, now I have a 2 hour limit. I got to do the thing that I'm supposed to do. And then blammo, you're done. And then you leave and then because you followed your little rule.
Yeah. Or what I do is like I'll go to a walk for a walk afterwards. I'll go to a park, just a little garden, or I'll just like absent-mindedly just like walking around the neighborhood, and then I observe a lot. It's crazy because listen to this, Katrina. I was going to one of those coffee, I think it's called St. George or something. It's and they have like fresh baked focaccia bread and some other sandwiches like prosciutto, burrata. They have a very good selection, and they also bake their like cookies. So it adds up. And they have 2 levels as well. So it's very nice. And they do have outlets and 2 bathrooms.
Nice.
So, okay.
One of your favorite spot?
One of my favorite spots right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Because the other one, they are not accepting laptops. So a lot of the coffee shops in the city are not accepting laptops.
They don't want people to work there?
They, a few of them I understand. Like there's one that it's they only allow you to use a laptop for like 2 hours, but it's a library, a bar, and a coffee shop.
Cool.
It's so cool, Katrina.
What's it called?
I think it's like bar. Wait, it's like a simple
Called Bar
like
Coffee Shop Library.
or something like that. Like let me see. So wait, coffee shop. It's like bar. This one is in East Village. And the thing is, like last year, I was going to that one, and they allowed people book club.
How
It's called
cute.
right. Yeah. So a friend recommended it, and I went to it. So last year, everyone can use laptop, and they also have like a little garden in the back as well, and you can go in, and you could have stayed all the time. But this year, I went back, and they had the laptop limit. But I was observing everyone. I didn't take I think I didn't end up using. A lot of people just go to read. A lot of people just go to catch up with their friends. So the vibe in there completely changed from last year where people were like in their laptops. And then this year, because of the limit,
Yeah.
people go and work and then they go to meet their friends after they do the 2-hour work thing.
That's cool. I love that. There's nothing like that around here.
So weird that they don't have it. And then they do events. So like they do little events where people go and talk like about books or their launch of the book or something. And it's a small place, so it's not like it holds a lot of people. But yeah, it's very nice.
I love it. No, I mean, I live in suburbia right now. There isn't anything like that. Like,
Well, I was in Kansas City and like I had to drive 30 minutes to go to the Kansas City,
are you as
city.
lazy as I am, though?
I know you're late. Yeah.
So lazy.
Well, for adventure, I would go. I would do it. Really, Katrina, every time I would meet someone and we would go on a walk on the river, or I ended up meeting people the more I went. And because of them, I started drinking iced hibiscus tea. I always did the chai latte, but hibiscus tea, I was addicted. And they add like a freezy thingy and they make it in house. So it's like it has bubbles. Bubbles. Yeah.
Yeah, I miss those days of just walking around,
You
discover.
can find it. I found places in Kansas City. You can find it where you are. You have homework, Katrina. I'm gonna follow up in a month. I'm gonna write it down now. And I'm gonna follow up with you in 1 month. I'm gonna call you, and you have to visit at least 3
Okay,
new coffee shops.
I thrive on assignments.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I'm gonna put the alarm.
Have to write it in things.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah.
I need I need another of these sessions just so you can motivate me to use things again because I started using reminders, but then I'm like, I should use things. It's not the same. Yeah.
There's a lot more granular like organization with the things that
Have you heard of Notion?
Yes, of course.
Do you use Notion?
Yeah, but I don't use it for to-do list tasks. I
Okay.
use it for more long-term note taking just because the to-do list, like, it changes every day and like things is specifically meant for that. So at the end of the day, they all go away and then you have a new thing. But like Notion doesn't have a
Yeah.
function like that. So then it's not
Yeah.
as satisfying
Yeah.
at the end of the day when like, you can see all the stuff you've done. So, but I use Notion for longer term notes. And I love it for organizing that kind of stuff. But I still use things a lot more than Notion.
We need to compare notes with Notions because I feel like Notions is so broad
Yeah.
and you can use it in so many ways.
Yeah.
So I would love to see yours, but I also want to show you mine because I'm so proud of my organization in Notion.
Notion is like a time suck when you're like trying to like organize it because there's so much functionality and you're like, I can do this thing, I can do this thing. And I'm like organizing. I'm looking at my Notion now because you reminded me.
Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah,
open all the time because I do this thing where I draft the bulk of the emails I send to clients are pretty much like 95% the same. So I
yeah,
keep all my email templates in Notion and then I just copy and paste there and drop it into and then I change certain info. So I use Notion every day. I just don't add to it every day, but I reference it every day.
yeah. I add to it every day and I reference it every day. So I have to show you. But it's mainly for the podcast. I've been using it way more for that. And then at the beginning of the year for the business, just like organizing like what is the future of Rainy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have all sorts of organization buckets here for all business stuff, like product ideas,
Ooh.
Instagram hashtags.
Yeah, I do that too. I have hashtags.
So I can just copy and paste because I
Yeah, for all the social medias.
hate doing the social media thing, but I have to.
Yeah, we have to. I just post it in one and share it from that one. And then sometimes I'll do it like a new post. But I'm not that great. I want to be more organized in that sense. And I want to dedicate at least a few days a month and then just do all my posts.
For Instagram?
Yeah.
So, yeah, do you use one of those like
Planoly right now, but I haven't used it. And
Planoly?
I pay it. But
Planoly was driving me nuts. Right now I'm using Buffer, but the bummer with Buffer is like it doesn't show you your feed, like a preview of what the feed will look like,
yeah.
which is really annoying. But Planoly kept bugging out on me, and I was just getting annoyed, and I didn't want to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered if paying for it got rid of those bugs, but I just tried something else. But
I've been paying for it for years and I haven't used it.
I mean, so I used to do because it gives you a 30 day, you can do 30 days at a time,
Trial.
right? No,
Yeah.
not the trial, but like, or maybe on the free.
Yeah, you can plan for 30. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I was doing it once a month, planning the whole
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
doing it that way, but it would take like all day, maybe even longer if I wanted to take a break and go do something else and then come back to planning the month. That it was like such this daunting task that I hated doing. I
What are you doing now?
So now I'm doing every Monday, I just plan 3 posts.
Okay. Maybe that would motivate me more.
That this feels easier for me because the part that I really didn't like was like it just felt daunting to plan 20, 28 to 30 days at one time and it took so long. And then I don't know if this happens to you, but like because I was doing it all on one day, a whole month's worth, like a month later, the work I was posting was just not as relevant to that week, because it's like a month behind.
Yeah.
So I was like taking a long time to like post something in the pipeline that I had just gotten in, but I already did the month, so it was gonna have to wait till next month. And so yeah, I think it's working better that I just do 3 posts a week. I plan 3 a week, and then it's going smoother. It's like less, it feels less like a chore.
You're activating my like, I need to do this now.
I don't wanna do that.
This is a good thing. This is a good thing because I want to. Not that I need to. I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I've been daunting myself. And the thing is, Katrina, I already have I have 3 months planned. But the action of like, the thing is like, so for example, I was editing the videos. I decided to edit the videos just on Instagram and do the voiceover on Instagram because I wasn't doing face. And then I did all the reels, but I didn't do the voiceovers, only out of like 10 posts or something like that. And then the thing is, I can't schedule it through Instagram, even though Instagram has the option. What would you do in that case?
I think if you're playing for Planoly, I think you can schedule videos.
But then I have to download them from Instagram and then add them up to Planoly.
Yeah.
Or do you use Canva
So
to do reels?
no, so I don't, that's one thing I'm definitely not up to modern times is it's like I used to try and do reels, but they took even longer. Like
Yes,
it took so long, and then when you're
it
like
takes time.
manipulating the music or the sound and like you're
Yes,
I'm like just get it in the right spot, and
I know.
I gave up. I gave up on reels. I just
Okay.
like
Okay.
I don't
Okay, because apparently it's like going back to carousels. They even added like 20 photos now. Before it was like 10, and now you can do 20.
now. I haven't even tried to do 20.
Okay. Okay. So you can do 20 now. And so, you know, then I was like, man, I already did all these reels and I should have done reel, carousel, reel, and carousel. So I keep like stopping myself. So it's like the work I leave it half done and then I don't finish it. So that's why I'm like,
Do
and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to post it this way. And I never post. Like I went to several events like the past few weeks. I didn't post about it.
yeah, and then it's like the
It's
time
like too late.
passed. Are you
Yeah.
being a perfectionist? Are you like, yes, yes, you are. I know you've done it before.
Oh my God. What am I being? I'm being distracted. I'm getting distracted. That's what I'm
I mean,
being.
I'm not immune to that. You know that saying, like, done is better than perfect?
No.
I remember that all the time.
Done is better
Then
than perfect. I think that's the title of
my
this
life.
podcast.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're not putting the content out, and then you're not actually you like you were spending all the time to plan it, but then it's not going live. So
Yeah.
done is better than perfect.
Yeah, and then I start doubting myself because I hear someone says, I didn't really see this or I didn't really, and so all these comments from other people also affect me and then I'm like, "Oh my God, it was so cool for me." But then, these little comments also stop me. But I think you're right about the perfectionism. I think that's what it is.
I think we
Yeah.
all do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't let me play small. I don't want to play small anymore. So, I have a lot to say.
Say it, girl.
Maybe not a lot to say, but just being there because I realized like going to these events is like, dude, like, I can be one of the speakers or
You want to be? That's what makes
mm,
me so nervous.
not me. I used to do that when I was younger. But in school, like I always had to present or talk about something like in the whole like school, and I used to sing in front of the whole school as well.
Oh,
Oh my God, why did I say that?
what?
But the thing is,
Right? You like doing that stuff.
yeah, I like it. I like it. Maybe not the singing. I stopped like singing, so my voice like changed. because you have to like breathe a certain way, and like I just stopped it, and so I don't really sing. I just sing like off key or like however I want. It's just for fun for me. And then sometimes I'm like thinking that I'm singing great, and then I record it or someone records it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's me singing. But yeah, and Emilia used to play the guitar, and I used to sing.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, in high school.
You know how at the beginning you were like, when I saw your name when you moved in, um, I thought you were Latina and I was excited. I was like, well, when I saw Emilio's name when he moved in, Emilio Estevez.
He was in the.
No, I knew he wasn't, but I was like, I want to know who this person is. But anyway, back to what you were saying.
When I saw you guys, I was like, oh my god, these are the coolest people. You dress so cool. You were always dressing like Williamsburg people, you know?
Well, now I am a suburban mom and all I wear are yoga pants.
I don't think I ever saw you in yoga pants.
It is now my daily uniform, but it's because my routine has changed a lot. Like in when we were living in New York, I didn't work out every day. Now I work out like pretty much every day, and so I just have to be wearing pants already because I'm lazy.
Katrina, this whole time we've been together, the last thing I would describe you is lazy.
Okay, let me be more. I'm lazy about very specific things.
Exactly. Because you're efficient and function. Efficiency and function. And then design. You always add the design. You're always very, you're very particular on fonts and colors and yeah.
Extremely particular. I agree with you.
Yeah. I went to the shop with you once and you were checking each card and checking every corner. And there were probably like 100 cards, by the way. But the people there knew you already. So, there was like a silent communication between you guys. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the shape and the color and like the texture of each little, like, that's a lot of attention to detail.
I the devil's in the details. I live in the details.
Yeah. And you used to fan it or do something to it. I don't know. You were organizing it in a way. Wow.
I should
Like
have
that's,
this closet. Do you want to see it?
yes, please. Oh my God.
Also,
It's a joy.
do you want to see my doggie? Because
Yeah.
here and she's just under the
She's a sweetheart, right? Oh, look how calm she is.
Hi, baby girl. She's 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 actually
She's
very big.
cute.
She goes under my table. Okay,
She's cute.
my closet.
Wow.
Usually a little more organized.
Katrina. Let me screenshot this. Wow. Beautiful. Look at all the colors.
I know the colors all look so pretty, but normally these are not sticking up because I've folded them. This is normally not here. There's like a stack here that I need to put away, but otherwise.
Yeah. Wow. So now you have your own printer at home?
I No, I'm trying to get one.
Okay.
They're a commercial printer, but they're expensive, and there's some issue with the power that I need. And the house is an old house, so
What is that machine then in the back?
this is a laser cutter. This is
Okay.
sorry, this is not work related. This is our me and Ray's Halloween costumes.
Well, please send me photos.
Yeah, we're gonna be fairs, but this is a laser cutter.
That is such a cool, like, I'm like, what is that? I knew it was a printer or something.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I decided to invest in so that I could do materials outside of paper, like acrylic signs and stuff. And so, hey, where are you going? The dog's leaving.
So are you doing acrylic for, what were you saying, like when it's repeated production, mass production?
No, it's not for mass. It's just for weddings. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
100 pieces or less at a time. It takes a while, but once I do the settings and stuff, I can kind of like let it do its thing and then attend to it minimally to keep it going. But yeah.
Acrylic is one of my favorite materials. I used it in school a lot,
Yeah.
but we didn't have laser cutters, so
And how
I would
did
have to
you
cut it
hand
with
cut
my hands.
acrylic?
Yeah. Yeah. So they were thin and I would just like pile them up. Or I did take a few like for the topography. That was for my thesis. I did take it to a cutter, but only those layers. But the majority of them, I just tried to get a thinner acrylic
Yeah.
and then just cut it. Actually, the thicker acrylic, we went to a glass place, like so they cut glass for window, and so they did that for us. So I had to, but everything was transparent, even the trees.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this thing, I didn't do my research that well. This thing won't cut transparent. It'll cut transparent like red and green,
Yeah.
but like it won't
Okay.
do like I really want it like clear. Like it'll do like green.
Okay.
But yeah, I probably should have I think I got excited and I just ordered it and then
Yeah.
then I didn't check.
And it looks so cool though.
It's cool. I mean it smells when it cuts too. Like it's
Man's head. Yeah.
not great, but
Okay. Okay. Yeah. But it gives you room to explore
yeah,
and
I've been
be
using it
creative.
for work. Well, I only use it for work. I haven't used it for anything else.
Do you still have the boobies that were
I stopped making that card. I think it was just, I just kind of made new designs and it kind of just got pushed further back and now I'm always trying to like make new ones, so I don't often revisit like older designs, but
I love the boobies. And at the beginning they were for
there,
charity or
yeah, there was a thing I was doing around breast cancer awareness month, but
but they were so cool that people were asking for it. Like you ended up
now
I
I'm
don't know.
rethinking why I stopped making them.
It's okay. I mean, sometimes that happens. I just remember them very vividly because I love them so. But I love your work in general.
Thank you.
I always admire the behind the scenes that people don't see. And then I barely saw the after, like the just in the stores that you would go to restock. But it's impressive the behind the scenes of your business. I enjoy it so much. It's inspirational.
Thank you. Yeah, I have an office now. When we were living next to you, I had just a small corner of our like one room loft apartments of like paper and stuff, and now I have more space to fill, so
And you have a laser.
and this thing, laser cutter. And I'm trying to get a printer, but I don't think it's gonna happen. There's too much limitations with the house electricity.
But also that helps you get out of the house.
True, but it makes me very upset with my printer sometimes. No, I don't really get upset with him, but I'm just like, ugh. I just
You
want more
can do that.
control, like over the output. That way, it just helps with just quality control a little bit more.
Anything else, Katrina, that you want to share with us today?
Anything you were hoping to dig into more? Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like we just kind of had a conversation, so I didn't know.
I love it. And it's gonna go. I'm gonna post this because I'm like, I enjoy this so much. A lot of the podcasts I've been listening to these guys, Sean. It's the podcast is called We Can Do Better.
Huh? I don't.
And they just do this.
Oh, they
And I
just,
enjoy it. It's the first time that I know when is Thursday.
is that when they release an episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how much I like it. But the thing is, it's like they're just two dudes talking about life. And so,
Is there
I
a
mean, I learned that they talk a lot about relationships and emotional things in relationship. Sex, they talk about sex. They talk about and then now they have people calling in and leaving messages
Mhm,
with questions to them.
mhm.
And so it gets very interesting. But one is therapist, and the other one is a coach, like a basically a relationship coach.
Okay.
And one is like in his 40s and the other one in his 50s.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it's interesting. I don't know why, but I'm enjoying it. So this episode reminded me of that, but just you and me, just
Cool.
like you and me would talk
Feel
about.
cool.
I know. I was like, this is what I would want is as well as like I think you said it, which is like your organization is what keeps you sane and healthy.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
and you exercise every day.
there's a lot of things that keep me sane and healthy. Like, but probably I just ever since I had Ray and my body went through this crazy transformation to house a baby, I just, especially, well, you know what happened to me, right? Like, I had all that pain afterwards, all that pelvic pain, and then it kept me from being active. And then ever since that finally healed, I've just been like kind of not obsessive, but something changed where I just wanted to take care of my body more, and get back to, well, I'm feeling a lot older these days. Like, I don't know, just you sleep weird and your neck's messed up for a week. I have, I don't drink hardly anymore. Like, I used to drink so much in New York. I have one drink now and I like sleep really crappy. And like, I go for a run the next day and I'm like, why is this the hardest run ever? And it's like always like, oh, it's because I had like a couple drinks last night. And so like one thing that keeps me sane is I think like health, trying to eat better, not drink as much and stay more active. And then I also go to therapy like every other week. And at one point, I had like two different kinds of talk therapy like every week. And I'm kind of tapering down on it because I've been feeling a lot better, but that's essential. Community is essential. So many things requires to feel balanced for
Mm.
everybody, I think.
Mm.
And we have to figure out our own recipe, which is like so hard to do. Yeah.
I would say about the running
Yeah.
that sometimes it takes for women it takes more than a day to recover from
From running.
alcohol.
Uh,
Yeah, from alcohol. Yeah, so like men it's like 24 hours their hormones, but us it's days, sometimes even weeks depending on our phase. Not weeks, but like days. Like and so just I wouldn't know the answer specifically like on how to deal with other in a female body for alcohol specifically,
mhm.
but I'll send you a link
Okay.
of something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like a green juice in the morning or something like that. I think it's what I read once a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just your body. It's just it takes longer. It's not that you are getting older, it's just that you are more in tune with your body now. So your body talks to you a lot more.
I'm listening to it more. Before I was like, shut up and drink some more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now, because you've been through that transformation, your body's like, actually, you shouldn't have gone for a run. Maybe we should have slept a little bit longer today and then done the run.
Yeah. Did you also like I just feel like did you know I broke my foot?
No,
It's it was a very tiny, tiny fracture,
poor Katrina.
but it happened like a month and a half ago. Um, I was training for like a half marathon, but I wasn't able to run it because of the injury. But I was playing volleyball with my family and I got like pushed down, like my foot was accidentally stepped on and then I like fell and then it somehow like broke a teeny piece of bone off at the top of my foot. But I was like, this is the lamest injury. I can't walk, I can't run anymore. I just don't want to get physically hurt anymore. It's too constricting, and like I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do. Like I
So
just
there's a lot of people that say there's theories out there
yeah.
that say that some accidents happen for a reason. So like
You mentioned that because when it happened, I was really
I have
mad about it. And then I was like, you know what? I think life and the universe keeps trying to teach me lessons on control. And I just keep being like, nah, I need more control of everything. And then the stuff keeps happening. Maybe I didn't need to break
interesting.
my foot.
Just a little message. Like you said, it was a stupid little thing, but it took you down for resting, for you to come down, for you to breathe and do what you really needed to do, which you have to go back and think about it. And then I read this book once that they actually say when you injure something or it's repeated injuries, it goes back to your childhood. So sometimes when you tune into that and you would have a memory as a child, like maybe simple things, like maybe you didn't want to go to school or you were scared of something and that reoccurring thing or something with your parents or there's always like a little and it's simple. It's not like a very complicated thing. And then so when you're an adult, something in your body remembers that and acts upon it.
That's crazy. I believe you.
Yeah, our bodies are very smart and it's always protecting us. Always, always. It's protection.
Yeah. You know, when I had that like pelvic issue after birth, there was a very specific pain there that I'd never felt before. And after it finally went away, it only comes back like in certain times of my period, like mildly. But I always laugh when this happens because when I see a particular type of like blood on TV or like on a show and there's like someone's like not it's not gory per se, but just like some scene where there's like blood and it feels like a clean cut, like the pain always is in my vagina. I'm
Yeah.
like it like remembers based on the sight and it activates the pain in that way that I felt it like years ago. And I was like, that's weird. And that's
Yeah.
just based on me seeing something on TV.
Yeah, exactly. So I was talking to my therapist last week. We were doing a recording and I told her like when I do cleanses or when I'm like decluttering or like getting rid of things, memories show up. And I told her that I reference it as trauma. Like one time, Bob, he had like a collar,
Uh-huh.
and the collar we never used it, but in that specific moment, I don't know, it was like a fenced area. So he was playing, and he got electrocuted.
By the fence?
Yeah, because it's one of those like you can't see it.
Okay.
So I stopped. Like I was so freaked out that my body didn't move. So I shut down. My whole body shut down. Emilia ran immediately, and he got electrocuted too, but was able to like take Bob
I
off.
believe you.
Kansas visiting family, and
What is that fence for?
it's for dogs. You train them, and then they don't pass the perimeter.
But it affects humans too?
It's because of the necklace. So you do have to put a necklace on. Yeah.
Emilio got shot
So
also?
yeah, because he was removing it. So from Bob. I know. And the thing is, years later, I did or a cleanser. I was doing something, and that memory popped up. And the thing is, it's like my body had it stuck in. I even forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about it completely
Yeah.
because it happened so fast, right? But a part of me was disappointed that I didn't move to protect my baby. And but the other part is that I was so scared that I didn't know how to react, right? And so there is a mixed thing. And I told that to my therapist, like when I have room to think or process things, these memories from the past come up and resurface. and I feel them as trauma. And she said, they're not trauma. It's your body bringing them up so you can basically like say peace with them or rethink the way you process it. But the only reason it's popping up is because it knows you have the room to do it. Like now you're ready to process those thoughts. Now you're ready to process that situation from the past. Isn't that beautiful? I thought that was like the most beautiful thing. She said it a little different, but I felt like, wow, that's not actually trauma. It's just my body allowing. And it's like it was holding on to it. And it's like, oh, now you have room to think. Now you have space. Let me just get that out.
I mean, it's kind of like everything in life. You can either look at it as negative as trauma, or you can like look at it in the way that you were talking about, like, oh no, it just means I have space to get rid of it. Yeah. Because like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could say, well, yeah, I was traumatized in the moment because my little baby was getting hurt and I couldn't do anything to help him. And so that is a traumatic
Yeah.
event, you know?
Yeah, I didn't explain the situation to her though, so you're right. But
No, but what I'm saying was like, even if it was a true trauma, like everything in life, you can either just, see the bad or you can turn it into a good thing.
yeah, I thought it was the intelligence of our body. Like, I just felt like also, like we were talking about connection with our body, I just felt so much care for it because it's protecting me again. It's like I didn't show you that was you didn't have those memories since then, or I didn't show you this because you weren't ready. Like, I think I would have been destroyed by it. Like if in a year ago that memory would have popped up, I would be destroyed. But it popped out in a moment that I was like, okay, I see it. It's a normal reaction. It's a fight or flight situation. It's like, I'm happy that it's being released because nothing bad happened. It's just that little shock. But Bob was fine like a minute later.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, I think I always have this perception of myself that I'm always going to defend. Like, I was trained to fight, because in certain situations, I do get like activated and I can defend myself. But then and I always think like, I've defended my friends. I can always defend. And then in that moment, it was the complete opposite of what I think I always do. And so, but probably my body also protected me because I probably would have gone there and done something stupid. Thank God Amelia was the one that like removed the thing, and then Bob was literally fine a minute later, but I was suffering.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Sometimes we think our bodies are failing us, but they're actually protecting us from something else that we don't even know.
no,
Yeah.
and it can be years later that you figure it out.
Life
And
is a,
about surgeries and cuts, I know our body has, it's hard for them. It's hard. It's a hard thing to go through.
yeah. Yeah, my foot is better now, but it's like stiff.
And you can still run.
I haven't tried yet. Um, the foot, because I had to wear one of those boots for a while, and then they were like, "Don't move your foot, let it heal." Da da da. Da. So all the muscles around it, I think, kind of like seized up. So the I think the break is healed, but because I wasn't using my foot normally for like over a month and a half, like it kind of forgot how to like do normal foot things. So
Are you going to go to therapy, or you know what you need to do?
I don't think it was bad enough to need therapy. I'm just learning how to. It's probably also me too. Like I'm afraid to re-injure it, so I don't want to push it too far too soon. Start running again. But I think I've been walking. I've been walking a lot to kind of get ready to start running again. So maybe another week or two, and I'll give it a.
Yeah, take your time. Please take your time. And have you done like massages, like ball massage on the foot?
I have one of those balls. I should probably do it. The break, it's like the foot is so weird, right? Like it's all just like bone and stuff. The parts where it hurts is kind of like it's just the top, I think.
Yeah, but that might help, with the ball and the movement. And I also was thinking that, do you remember the mat? You probably had one, the acupuncture mat.
Matt?
It's like a mat and it has like little spikes.
I've never had one.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe.
Okay, I think that might help as well.
Is it
Like just
I've seen like
sitting,
foam rollers with the spiky things on it for
but this one is like it. Yeah, if you have a foam roller, I would try that and see, but I would be gentle. But this is just like a mat with like spikes, and I usually little spikes, which is like it's called acupuncture mat or something. That
do you lay down on it?
yeah, I lay down on it. But what I realize, the best way I use it is just standing on top of it. I haven't seen anyone do it, but I do it, and it's like I can feel it from the bottom of my foot all the way to my head because it's like sometimes I can last longer, and sometimes I'm just like 2 minutes, and then I'm done.
I have to look.
But yeah, you can lay on it on your back or on your legs. They even have like a little, it looks like a pillow, and you can put it on your neck.
This one looks Oh, yeah. I Googled it. I wanted to know what
Okay.
you're talking about. I see
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Interesting. So you just stand on it too.
Yeah. So I stand on it because I was like, I had it, but in my back, I wasn't really feeling it. Like it was relaxing me, but when I put it on my feet, I know it's working. Yeah.
Very interesting. No, I've never seen or heard of this.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. So some people do it basically almost every day because it's not very hard on because it's not a needle going through. So but I would do it at least once a week. I feel relieved when I do it at least once a week. But every morning or before I go to bed, I do it. I have it next to my bed, so I just step on it. Yeah. And then if my neck hurts, I will put it on my neck or on my back. But usually with the feet, I feel good. And then I would also ground, like go to your backyard and maybe just put your feet on the grass and see if it helps.
I do that a lot.
Okay.
It's fake grass though, but I still
No.
think no.
No, that's plastic. That's worse. Don't do that.
Well, like it
Fine grass.
like got no bugs on it and it's super clean. But I mean, I don't we have grass in our front yard. We have real.
Okay. Yeah, do that. And touch a tree. It'll help you.
There's bugs on it.
It will help you. Okay, another homework. 3 new coffee shops and touch a tree.
A tree.
Touch a tree and put your feet barefoot, barefoot on real grass.
Is it the same property if you rub your feet on your dog?
They have because they do walk barefoot. They're always grounding, so
So do I
yeah.
get grounded by rub it? Because she sleeps under my desk and I always rub my feet all over her body.
That helps. That helps
It does
a
feel,
lot.
I do love it. She seems
Yeah.
to like it. I'm doing it right now.
Oh my god. When you showed her, she was like, "What? I'm sleeping here." She looks very relaxed.
She's a sleepy girl. Well, she's mostly greyhound, so she sleeps a lot. She's just a sleepy breed.
She's beautiful.
She's the cutest. I love her so much.
So glad she's in your life.
I know, we needed her. We had just lost Parker. And then I was like so sad for so long. Was like, I don't know if we'll get another dog. And then, bam, 2 weeks later, we had Etta because we just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she came to your life.
Yeah.
And then from 2 small ones to a big one.
She's still probably like twice the size of both the two dogs put together. More than twice the size of the two smaller dogs put together. But
What's her weight?
she's probably like 70 pounds.
70 pounds. Wow.
She's thin and she's svelte and she's tall. She's just all legs. So she's looks really big, even though she's not like a 90-pound dog. Like, but because she's just like dense muscle, like she's huge. She can like barely fit under a table, like standing.
What a difference.
I know. We went from Parker to this one.
Parker would fit in my hand now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he had a good life. They both had a good life with you.
They did. I'm so sad. But
Now there's room for her. Now you have her.
yeah. He's dirty.
Katrina, I love you.
Rainy, I love you too.
Thank you for this.
Did I give you what you needed?
I got and more.
Okay, yay.
I love it.
Yay.
We'll keep talking. And I would like to schedule one of these days another call, but just to I don't know, inspiration on the back end of the business and stuff. I feel more organized now since the last time we talked. And the podcast is pushing me a lot to be more organized,
Great.
to use the tools like Notion, things. I'm going to start things again. And, a lot of it is thinking of you. So thank you.
That's so nice. Thank you. I could talk about productivity, apps and exercise and like things and ways.
I was wondering, maybe you can help designers organize their back end.
Organize what?
Organize their businesses. Probably, I don't know if you would like it, but
I mean, I like organizing our house, and if somebody wants help, I would do it. I mean, you've done that for people too. What are you talking about? Yeah.
But I mean on the business.
I
Yeah.
could. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you doing that.
Yeah.
I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've helped me. So just by me working next to you,
Remember when we were trying to figure out Squarespace together? Where was that? Was that a Brass Monkey or?
It was wow, that at night became like a bar with DJs. What was the name of this?
Was
yeah.
Gold.
Freehold. Yeah. Freehold. Yeah. Yeah, I was at Freehold. Well, we made it work. And Sean worked at Squarespace and we were struggling. But then you would ask him when you get home. You would ask him.
I knew the product better than him because I was like a user and he actually didn't use it. Like I was like, are you guys working on this thing? And he's like, yeah, but it takes time.
Yeah, right now I don't, because my friend redesigned the whole thing than what I did. The thing I did when we were working together doesn't exist anymore, just a little part, which is like the projects. So I go in very, very, like I don't use it that much. Like I don't, but because of that, I know. So I added like the store recently to it. And then I think I added like one more tab. But I always, like the other day I was doing something and I asked you.
Need to help. Yeah. But it's still in Squarespace, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love Squarespace.
Yeah, me too. It's a good tool. You definitely need time to understand it, but it's great otherwise. Yeah, I've been using it to make all my clients' websites and stuff.
So you're doing websites too?
Yeah, like wedding websites. I was actually working on one before I hopped on the call with you. Yeah. Just, another part of the package, another option people can take.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Besitos.
I love catching up with you.
Me too.
We no longer are next door neighbors, so gotta make time.
But we will. We can. Remember when we're older?
We can is the truth.
We're gonna party and we're gonna travel. We're gonna go to Italy and be in boats and drinking spritzers. whatever.
Aperol spritzes.
That that thing. You can tell how much I drink, but yeah.
And all the studies say it's just very, very bad for you. Like you just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But then I substituted for sweets, so I don't drink coffee nor drink, but then I do eat a lot of sweets. So
Sweets are good. I'm trying to break that habit too, man.
yeah, it's all about balance.
Yeah. Do you ever get
Yeah.
those, I keep buying these, well, I'm a suburban mom now, so I go to Costco often. They have this candy there, like chocolate called like Unreal, and then they're like a fraction of the sugar, and I just like, nah. I just buy them every time. They have like Snicker, like, they're kind of like a Snickers style, and kind of like they
Yeah.
are tasty, and so
Yeah. Yeah, I tried making I one of the things I miss about that apartment, I used to cook so much in my I call it my past life. Like I used to cook
I
and I used to do
at my past life when we lived there. Yeah, you would make me like rice and beans and plantains, and it was so good. And like, remember we'd leave each other little Tupperwares at the door because I guess we couldn't be bothered to even open the door at the same time because we'd be like relaxing in our. That was the best, okay? Because really, really, like we were like best friends, and then we lived there, but we gave each other space, but then we would like hang out all the time. It was so great.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love giving space to my friends because I also need space. So, but one thing I did learn from you was that I had a bitch face, resting bitch face. First, I figured out you showed, I'm like, what is that? And then because I would walk Bob and I would just don't want to talk to anyone, don't want anyone to talk to me. So I would put my headphones and just walk Bob.
Yeah.
And apparently you tried to catch my attention and I just couldn't see you.
I mean, I feel like everyone has resting bitch face. That's not like, but who's like staring into space like this? Nobody. But I do remember like when you'd walk Bob, I'd be like, Rainy, because you always have your earphones in. Rainy, we're here.
I didn't see anyone. I didn't look around. And then Emilio was the contrary, and then he knew everyone in the neighborhood.
I think
But
people are just magnets, and it's not because they don't have resting bitch face. And then some people are not. And I don't think, can't really explain, like, sometimes you are and sometimes you aren't. And, you know,
yeah,
yeah.
I have situations where I want, people to approach me, but there's sometimes,
Mhm.
and that was my time.
Yeah.
Walking Bob, I didn't want to know anyone or anyone to talk to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just my thing. I think I listened a lot to audiobooks, so it was like my time to just like listen. I listened to music, so I wasn't at home, so I wasn't like doing stuff, It was just like walking, da na 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 na. And then I would sometimes look at people's windows, and I remember seeing like a McDonald's sign in one of the apartments, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I think,
Someone had a McDonald's neon,
yeah, like a neon McDonald's, like at the end of McDonald's inside their home.
like a real one, like that used to be on an actual McDonald's.
Oh, well, I don't know, but it looked like it, and I can see it every time I would walk when they would turn it on.
Yeah.
You can see it from the.
I know.
So that's what I would do.
Where was that?
So it was on South 4th Street,
Yeah.
but not towards the river,
Hmm.
but towards the opposite side.
I
Yeah.
always walked towards the river.
Oh, wait. Yeah, sometimes I like experiments. So I always wanted to see different corners. So it was my moment to just explore and also giving Bob like different smells, I guess. I don't know what to say.
Wow.
It was more dangerous that way, but I always went. I liked it.
Oh, you were fine. Yeah. You
Yeah,
weren't
yeah.
that. It's not like if a car was coming, you'd notice that, right?
Yeah, it's more like that little park that I love because it's like it's the start of the Williamsburg Bridge,
And then you have that little park, but they had a lot of homeless, but we were always fine. Like it wasn't, yeah, it was fine.
I never felt not safe there. It's crazy.
Me neither.
But I've had moments here where I'm like, oh, it's like too quiet, you know?
Wow. Yeah, I always felt safe because if I didn't feel safe, I would never, I would be like this just to listen to whatever is happening around me. But I was always like, yeah. If you and me will never stop, I'm going to stop recording.
Okay. I hope I gave you some good content for your podcast and your list.
Many.
And yeah, we need to talk again about whatever you want.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.